Welcome to another episode of Figuring Out with Billy Arends. I am Billy Arends, and this is my digital journal of my life and how I am figuring things out here in the Earth School. Namaste. Welcome to another episode of Figuring It Out with Billy Arends. I am Billy Arends, and I like to welcome you to my podcast. Today, I want to talk about the power of walking away. I'm going to use one example of how I build up courage to walk away from a situation that no longer served the interests of my well-being, even my mental health. And it was a situation that drained my energy. So I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can from my point of view, and hopefully it can help you make that choice to walk away from a situation that no longer serves the well-being of your soul. What I do is, when I start working for a brand, and in the beginning it's all roses, it's the honeymoon phase, people praise you for doing a good thing, and as things grow, what I've noticed that people start using you. If you have, especially if you're like a multi-skilled person, they'll ask you to do things that's outside the scope of even your job description, and you tend to not manage your time well. So you have your normal job that you have to do, and then you still take care of other things. And the minute you start like not managing both, that's when people start criticizing you, like, yeah, you're not doing this, you're not doing your job well, and stuff like that. So when you start saying no, you'll see people start acting funny, because in some situations people just want to use you. They want to use your time, energy, and when you start saying no, it's the time when they start revealing their true colors, or the true intention why they want to work with you. And you find that you just have to give, and they just take. You empty your cup, and nothing gets poured back into your cup to keep your cup full, to be as good as yourself, that you need to be as good to yourself as you need to be. And your energy is just getting drained. So what I do now these days is, if I'm in a working relationship with someone, I first check if they give me the same energy they gave me when the project started. And if the energy changes, I know that's already a red flag. And if you start asking for things to help you complete the task better that you're supposed to do, and they have stories that, nah, we can't do this now, you can't do that, and it's the benefit for the brand, and they stop like trying to assist you to help them push the brand forward, that's another red flag. And when you begin to realize that in certain situations that you're actually wasting your time, and time is something that you can't get back. If you waste a minute, that minute is gone. You can't get it back. It's not one of those things that will wait for you. Time is constant. Time keeps moving. Time waits for no one. And if you find yourself in a situation where your time gets wasted, it's one of those situations that you need to walk away from. And then also you need to protect your energy. If you find that you're in an environment where the energy changes and begins to get toxic to the point where you begin to lose out on sleep, your sleeping patterns change, or you find that your appetite changes, you don't eat the way you used to, or you're just generally tired. And if you wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, do I really need to go to this place? Do I really need to do X, Y, Z? Then you know that's a red flag for yourself. Or you find that when you started working on a specific brand and you were passionate about it in the beginning, but as the project goes along and the months pass by and you find that you're beginning to lose your passion, that spark you had at the beginning of the project, that's another sign that it's time to consider walking away from the project. And remember, this is your life story, so you need to write it the way you want to. And you never know, like when you start, if you let go of one situation, a better situation might arise that makes you more happy, that's more fulfilling, and that will be the benefit of you. So this year I had to make a hard decision. The year started off very busy, and I pushed as hard as I could, but I got to a situation where I just felt like the energy is not the same anymore, and I felt undervalued, I felt used, and I actually started losing weight. Like I couldn't, like my weight just went down and my energy was down. There's this thing they call work-life balance. Like I lost my balance, was just out of sync, like everything was just not right. And I analyzed the situation, and I realized that this situation is also affecting my mental health. And I decided to take a break. And within the break, I decided, nah, I'm not going back to this situation. And this is the interesting thing that happened. The day I decided not to go back, it felt like new doors were opening for me. People started telling me that they want to work with me and they want to do stuff with me in the future, and it just felt right. And right now, like after I walked away from this situation, it's gradual, but I started gaining a little bit of weight again. My mental health improved because I'm smiling every day. And right now, I get to do the things that I want to do. I decided to take the pen and start writing my own story. Because at the end of the day, if you do not prioritize your time, somebody else will do it for you. And you need to always like put yourself first and make sure whatever situation you're in, you always put yourself first. Not saying that you're going to completely say no to everybody in your life. It's just you have to be very mindful if you say yes to certain situations, to make sure that at the end of the day, when you go home, you are fulfilled, you are happy, you get to enjoy your evenings when you're at home. And if you one of those people that like to do fun things on the weekend, and you find that you always working, you're just working, but you're not enjoying your private life, then you know it's just time to bounce. And when I walked away from this situation, it felt so liberating, like I felt free. And I started doing things for myself, and it feels so good waking up every day knowing that I walked away from a situation that no longer serves the well-being of my soul, my mind, my body, my happiness. At the end of the day, I have to put my happiness ahead of everybody else's happiness. Because if I'm happy and I smile, it automatically gives other people permission to do the same. And I'm just happy right now in my life. And as I said, there's certain opportunities that came my way. And as we know, with every new opportunity there would be some challenges, but for some strange reason, I could be having like a little bit of a bad week, and then you find that there's this one day in the week where it's so productive. I do something so good, or I work with somebody on a certain thing, and it just works. So remember, if you walk away from a bad situation, you're walking towards a good situation. So always make sure that you make the right, best possible decision for yourself. And that's all you got to do. Don't be afraid to walk away, because you're going to pay for it at the end of the day. You might not pay this year, but something it's gonna give. If you stay in a work environment that's toxic, you're gonna find yourself having to seek professional help just to cope with the job that you are doing. If you allow certain family members to spit their toxic energy around you, you're going to end up in a situation where you need help just to cope with family. And that's the same for a relationship. If the relationship no longer serves you the best possible way, and there's nothing else you can do, and you've tried everything and the situation remains toxic, you not need to walk away and start working on yourself and do something for you. But at the end of the day, remember, there is power in walking away, and never doubt that. Never doubt yourself. There is power in walking away. That is all I have for you today. Thanks for listening to this episode of Figuring It Out with Billy Arends, the power of walking away. And I just want to say, Namaste, beautiful souls.